There are people in this country who dream of an America without Black Americans. Yes. They think the nation would be more peaceful, more pure, more successful. But let me tell you something biblical, something prophetic, something rooted in judgment and destiny. America will never be an all-white nation. God himself will not allow it. Let me explain. Let's go. Black Americans are the only thing standing between America and total judgment. Jeremiah always spoke about one thing. God spares a nation as long as the righteous remnants are still there. And whether people want to accept it or not, Black Americans have been the moral conscience of this country. If you remove the people who cry out for justice, stand against oppression, expose corruption, and force America to correct itself, the nation collapses into full judgment. God will not let that happen. And another thing is, America's blessing has always been connected to Black Americans, and that's just the truth. This is the part people don't want to hear. From economics to culture, to global influence, to innovation, to resilience, Black Americans built the nation. And biblically, you cannot erase the people who built the foundation of a land without drawing severe consequences. Jeremiah warned that when a nation mistreats the people who carry its blessing, the cost falls on the nation itself. That's why erasing Black Americans is impossible. It will activate judgment on a level America could never survive. Another thing is, God has always preserved the people the world tries to erase. Now, let's think about it. Every chosen group in the Bible had someone trying to wipe them out. Let's talk about Pharaoh tried it, Babylon tried it, Rome tried it, but every time that attempt triggered judgment, not success. Look at history. Every system that designed against Black Americans eventually collapses. Slavery collapsed. Jim Crow collapsed. Segregation collapsed. System fall, the people remain. That's prophetic. America's identity would be empty without Black Americans. Let's be honest. America without Black Americans would have no global culture, no rhythm, no creativity, no soul, no moral compass. It would become a cold, hollow empire. And Jeremiah made it clear. Empires without righteousness falls fast. Black Americans keep this country from rotting spiritually and culturally. Now, another thing is the judgment. America cannot replace what God established. America has tried everything. It has tried oppression. It has tried redlining. It has tried mass incarceration. It has tried propaganda. It has tried political erasure. Yet the population remains. The influence remains. The resilience remains. That's why God's judgment prevents America from becoming the country extremists fantasize about it. Black Americans are divinely placed in that country. Let me remind you this. You cannot build a nation on oppression. You will answer for it. To erase that reminder is to invite judgment without mercy. God will not even allow it. Anyways, just watch these few videos with me, right? Of course, I must give a shout out to those creators. Then we'll be back with the powerful closing. Please watch these videos to the end and kindly subscribe. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, like and share these videos, right? We'll be back with the closing. Please stay tuned.
Can we take a moment, and frankly it should be many moments, but at least one moment to thank Black women. Black women who have held this country from its beginning all the way through modern day. And I'm talking about the 92%. Y'all know who you are. The Black women who have consistently shown up for all demographics as it pertains to our rights, as it pertains to voting records, as it pertains to the labor that Black women have had to take while this country has disrespected them in so many ways, the labor that they have had to take to ensure the rights of others. We need to, especially people that are not Black, we need to thank Black women for what they have done for this country, for what they continue to do for this country. And I'm not just talking about leftist or progressive values. I'm talking about community building. I'm talking about empathy. I'm talking about love. What I have seen from Black women in my life, personally, and folks that I just admire, is what I just showed to you all. Empathy, community, love, perseverance, strength. All of that is so important. And I frankly don't see enough people actually even talking about that, and how this country and how the people of this country have disrespected Black women in so many ways. We need to talk about the mortality rate, the infant mortality rate of Black babies. We need to talk about how Black women are treated differently in medical spaces. We need to talk about how Black women have had to take on so much emotional labor just to try and explain to people what it is that they're going through. And it just shouldn't be that. And I feel like as a people, as a community, we need to be able to acknowledge all those things, to thank Black women, and also to uplift Black women. Because just because they have been putting in all of this freaking effort, including and holding it down for the Democratic Party and its candidates, doesn't mean that everything has to rest on them, that everything has to lay on them. We are a community. We should be supporting each other. So this is just my shout out to Black women, okay? The Black women that I admire in my personal life, but also folks that I admire across so many different industries. Thank you for being the magical people that you are. And I hope that more and more people will see this and will continue to uplift Black women. And if you are someone that wants to celebrate a Black woman in your life, comment. Tag them, because they deserve this. They deserve the recognition. And so, anyways, if you want more of this type of content, follow for more.
You see, they sit and they talk about Black neighborhoods as if they are not the reason that these neighborhoods are poor and below the poverty level and are full of crimes and different things like that. They don't talk about the role that they played in that. You see, when Black people tried to strive and build their own communities and do different things, you see, they were a threat, so they had to get rid of it. You know, a lot of these people have never even left their cities. They don't know what it's like to be in a great environment because they don't have the resources, they don't have the money to get away. So when you are raised around things like that, what do you think you're going to do? People don't see the bigger picture of anything. They just automatically think negatively. But also, they don't talk about the fact that Black people are the reason why they have generational wealth. Yeah, when they were putting slaves in the field and having them work for free, they were getting rich from us. Why are you not talking about that? Imagine if you never would have stole slaves, if you never would have stole land, what you would really have to pass down to generation after generation after generation. Do you really even think like that? Or you just go with what you've heard or what your neighbor told you?
I think it's time for y'all to admit that the reason that the Black American identity isn't valid to most of you and you question us when we tell you we're from America is because the country we claim to be from is not majority Black.
Bro, the way I literally said this earlier to somebody is crazy. Like, I literally said the same thing. I was talking to somebody earlier about this because I had sent them the video about those girls trying to invalidate our Blackness because we're from America and we should know where we're from and blah, 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 all that ignorant ass shit. But I was literally saying the reason why people try to diminish our Blackness or try to question our Blackness or try to take away our Blackness is because when you think of Jamaica or Haiti, when you think of a person from there, you're automatically going to think of a Black person. You're not going to think of anything else. Even though other people are from there and they live there, but you're automatically going to think of a Black person. But if you think of a person from America, you're automatically going to think white. like I said, even though so many other races and cultures and people live here, you're automatically going to think white. Automatically. But just because you automatically may think white when it comes to America does not make me any less black than you or anybody else. We still are very black over here. Extremely black. And trying to diminish that or disregard that or question that is crazy, because we all come from the same black ass place. It just so happens that we all got put in different areas, but we all came from the same black ass place. We just all got dropped off on different places. And as much as you guys try to diminish or disregard or invalidate our blackness, y'all love Black American culture. Y'all love it. Y'all love it. And at the end of the day, we built America on our fucking backs. What? We were forced to build America on our backs. So what do you even mean? We've been here for over 400 years. What do you mean, where am I from? I'm from the place that we built from the ground up. That's where I am. That's where I'm from. The place where we built from the ground up. That's where I'm from. What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean?
Now I'm seeing videos of how Mexicans are native to America. I get it. Why is it so easy to believe that every other group is native? I would never call myself Native American. I never identified as that. I'd never, ever. My grandfather called himself Indian. When I want to tell y'all, I will. My great, whatever. But why is it so easy to believe that Mexicans are native to America? When y'all fucking know that deeply melanated people were the first on planet Earth. I gotta keep saying this. Y'all all come from us. Y'all all come from us. But y'all want to argue tooth and motherfucking nail when we say we ain't African. Majority of us were already here. Why is that so hard to fucking conceive? And then when you look at the indigenous Mexican people, they are deeply melanated. I went and saw them pyramids. The hair on the pyramids, the stone, the fucking carvings was coily. It looked like locks. It was not giving straight, whatever type of hair I got now. It was not giving that. Why is it so hard to conceive of the fact that we were here thousands of years ago too? Maybe we were both here together. I'm not going to try to that. And this is what gets me upset, is because y'all feel like us saying that we were already here discredits y'all's lineage, and nobody's trying to take nothing away from you. Do your dance, do your dance, wear whatever, but do not act like we ain't the natural inhabitants of planet Earth, because we are. Even first of all, present day, everybody copies every fucking thing we do. So what makes it so hard to believe? ... Spread love is the Brooklyn way. I'm just tired. Like, leave us alone. We don't argue with people when they identify how they see fit. But y'all keep doing it to us. Y'all listen to the stories that y'all grandmothers told y'all. We got primary resources. We got paintings and murals and pictures the same way the fuck that y'all do. But whenever we say it, it's an issue. But now that the government and these nations are actually acknowledging us now, y'all are mad at us. Why you not mad at the GOV? I gotta watch one of them. The GOV or these tribal nations that's acknowledging deeply melanated black indigenous people. Why are you taking it out on us? Because if Johnny had 5 fucking apples, bitch. Bye.
Scared. Last time I checked, Black Americans are the strongest groups of blacks in the whole world. We undefeated. Yeah. And take it from where? We are the indigenous people of North America. We not from where the hell you from, square ass jit. And even when they did bring that small portion of Africans to America, that still doesn't erase the fact that we've been putting belt to ass since 1526. Holding that shit down for real, not only against one great nation, but 7 great nations. It get like that. You better go ask President Andrew Jackson and some of his unalived homies. During the Florida Seminole Wars, he said this was just as much as the Negro War as it was the Indian War. One of the longest and hardest wars fought on American soil. 41 years plus, out there thumping. Other groups of people went through colonization and couldn't bounce back. We went through colonization, became superstars, world leaders and icons. We're the richest groups of blacks in the whole world. Think of black Americans like the 1995 Chicago Bulls. The only difference is we didn't stop. We kept that shit going and going and going. Now the rest of y'all don't even make it to the playoffs. Anyways, whatever y'all boys do, make sure y'all stay up top, man.
I know I'm going to be accused of being reverse racist for saying this, but it's absolutely true. The conversations I'm having with my white friends right now, not all of them, but a lot of them, and the conversations I'm having with my black friends are very different. A lot of my white friends want to pretend that everything's fine with our nation, that everything's normal, that Donald Trump is normal, and that there's nothing to see here. Whereas my black friends are living at DEFCON 5, red alert every day, recognizing that we have a madman at the helm of our nation who's driving this ship into the ground right in front of our eyes. And it's just a very stark difference in these conversations. And I am seeing more and more white folks waking up to the reality that we're living in. But the black folks I know, they are eyes wide open and have been for a long time.
What can you threaten black people with that we haven't already lived through before? We already couldn't go to your schools. We already couldn't live in your neighborhood. We already couldn't shop in your store. We already had to sit in the back of the bus. We already filled out your jail. We already had our zip codes redlined. We already had our votes suppressed. We already had our families separated. We already had our men profiled. We already had our women objectified. What you think you gonna do new that's gonna be able to intimidate us? Black people got soundtrack music. Yea, though we walk through the valley of the shadow of death, we will fear no evil. It is their master plan to make you live in fear so you don't fight back, so you don't lift up your voice, so you don't kick against the prick. Fear is the only weapon that white supremacy has.
This is hilarious. This person says, embrace your African culture. Don't be ashamed of it. Fun fact, Black Americans have zero African culture. We don't have any African dishes that were passed down from grandma. We don't have any oral traditions of descending from tribes in Africa. We don't have any African dances, any African customs, but all of the customs that Black Americans have, you can tie to indigenous tribes of the Americas. Riddle me that. I mean, for those of us who are even Pan-African and wear onks and daishikis every February, they have no African culture. They're just kind of cosplaying as something that makes them feel empowered. So, faceless troll, the only reason why I'm responding to you is to highlight the fact that Native Black Americans have zero African culture. And when we look through our genealogy and search for an African ancestor, we don't find any.
Who's mad today? Who's mad today are the people who hate to see Black Americans feel entitled to this land, feel entitled to this country because it is ours. Who's mad are the people who really, truly hate Black Americans, hate to see us coming, love to see us depicted as thugs, love to see us depicted as drug dealers and baby mamas, love to see us depicted as degenerates, hate to see us winning, hate to see us being acknowledged by the President of the United States, hate to see us being celebrated, hate to see us being established as the foundational Americans of this here country. The president knows what's up when it comes to Black Americans who have been here. Our ancestors have been here since prior to the foundation of this country, and some of y'all hate to see it. There are Black Americans who hate to see us love ourselves. Y'all really believe that there is anybody around here? Look at that. That right there, all of that belong to my parents. There are people right now in America who believe that the status of Black Americans can be removed, can be revoked. There are people in America right now, Americans, who believe that Black people can be sent anywhere. Black Americans can be sent anywhere. This is our country, We've been here. We've literally been here since prior to the establishment of the Constitution. And y'all believe that there are people, y'all believe that Donald Trump is so hateful and evil and maniacal. Y'all think he's the devil or something. And y'all believe that he has the power to just wipe out our history. Y'all say that. Y'all believe he has the power to just wipe out our history and put us on boats or ships or planes. I don't know, buses. I don't know how he would do it, and just send us away. Y'all believe that we are too weak to fight for what belongs to us. Y'all don't even understand we the only ones been fighting this whole time. We've not been wiped out, okay? Our population has not grown, but our population has been pretty steady, even with mass incarceration, even with the crack and cocaine epidemics, even with redlining, even with them putting projects on top of cemeteries, even with every single way these maniacal forces have tried to eliminate Black Americans, we're still here. We're everywhere. We are not some figment of your imagination. We're not just sketches in a book. You don't just find us in museums. We're around and we're staying. We're literally not going anywhere. We don't die. We multiply. And this is a turning point in our history. Things are really about to change, and I'm so grateful for it. What a time to become a mother. What a time to become a mother to an amazing, beautiful Black boy. I am so excited. I love it here. How about you?
So I'm learning more and more every day on how much the immigrants, when they came here, they were basically trying to replace Black people. Basically saying like, oh, we're the good minority, you know, aligning themselves with whiteness, whatever, right? Here's the thing. You can and I feel sorry. I feel sorry for a lot of them. Because you never did your research on our history. You never did your research on the history in America. Because if you had done your research, you would know for a fact that you can't replace us. You can't get rid of us. And you can't stop us, right? We've been through a lot. We're always on our toes. And I know Black people is known for, like, you know, we can never get along. We can never, you know, there's always like chaos in our community. The problem, the other layer of that they don't understand is that, yes, there may be chaos in our community, but we still have one goal. But while there's chaos in our community, we can still have one aligned goal and put that chaos on the back burner and take care of this, okay? So before we worry about what's in our community right now we gotta take care of getting our respect, our reparations, because we see what y'all trying to do. If you knew anything about us, you would know that when it comes to disrespect and trying to place us, we don't fold easy. You know, we see what you're doing. We be like, oh, okay, all right, but we don't fold easy, not at all. See, the one thing that we have that you don't have is we have home court advantage. This is our land. This is where we're born. You know what I'm saying? You know, if you were smart, which a lot of immigrants were, versus you sit here trying to fight us, what you should have did was you should have let your kids play with us when we were teenagers. You should have let your daughters date the boys, the good ones, because I'm pretty sure you came amongst some good, smart Black gentlemen. You should have let your sons date some Black girls. You know, marry them, because I'm pretty sure they came across some respectable Black women. I'm pretty sure you did, but because of that whole race thing and thinking that we're lazy and we're nothing, look what you got. Now you're by yourselves. Some of y'all gonna get deported and your kids gonna be here by themselves. But hey, listen, that was your choice. Now look where you at.
If you say something about my hair, you anti-Black. I'm trying to put waves in it. Anyways, when I say I'm proud to be American, I don't mean like this imperialistic, racist, like capitalistic bullshit. I'm talking about Black African American people and our history here in this nation and all the accomplishments we have made in spite of everything we have been through. I'm proud to be a Black African American. When I be seeing these niggas with the American flag in their bio, that is not what they mean. That is not what I just said, is not what they mean. Baby, those are coons.
Hey, Donna Briggs, this message is for you. My name is Ann. I'm 56 years old from Nebraska, and I was adopted as a new baby Back in 1969, I, at the age of 26, found my adoptive parents and found out that I was half black. Obviously, my other half is white. I've only had two people my whole life, two black people, my whole life, ask me if I was half black. Because I don't look black. I just don't. I know I don't. I didn't know I was half black until I was 26. Fucking blew my mind. But anyway, I'm proud of it. I don't care. I'm proud of it. I wish I looked more black, honestly. I really did. I wish people would look at me and say, oh yeah, I see it. But people don't. That being said, I wish I was accepted as a black person. I just feel like black people, they feel that connection with each other. I want that connection with them, but I don't have that. And I probably never will. I don't look black. I don't sound black. I was raised by farming parents in rural Nebraska. I'm not going to sound... It makes me sad that you are deliberately stripping that of yourself. It's something to be proud of. Anyway, I hope this message finds you in a good space, and I wish you the best. And I just wanted to let you know my story. Take care.
You really think they woke up and said, wow, black people are human after all. Let's be nice. They didn't desegregate because they loved us. They desegregated because they couldn't afford to look stupid on the world stage. And they couldn't afford to let us get too powerful without them. After World War II, America was busy trying to sell itself as the leader of the free world. You know, democracy, liberty, justice for all. All the same stuff they were never giving to black people at home. Meanwhile, the Soviet Union was pointing and laughing. Freedom? Y'all can't even let black kids drink from the same water fountain. And America? They couldn't bomb their way out of that bad press. So the same people who spent decades lynching us, burning us out of towns, and pretending we didn't exist, decided it was time to clean up their image. Desegregation was never about morality. It was always about marketing. One thing they never tell you about desegregation, we weren't begging to sit next to them. We were thriving without them. Black businesses were booming. Black schools were educating future doctors, lawyers, and scientists. Black neighborhoods were self-sufficient. And they couldn't have that. Because if we didn't need them, they couldn't control us. Simple math. But instead of congratulating us, they used desegregation as a way to bulldoze everything we built. Black schools shut down. Black teachers fired by the thousands. Black businesses starved out once the black dollar started flowing into white businesses. Yeah, they didn't integrate with us. They absorbed what we built and threw the rest away like leftovers. And today they have the nerve to ask why black communities are still rebuilding. Because y'all didn't just move the goalpost. Y'all burnt the whole field. Desegregation wasn't a handshake. It was a hostile takeover. They didn't open the doors because they respected us. They opened the doors just wide enough to flood everything that we built and call it progress. So the next time somebody tells you to be grateful for desegregation, remind them that we didn't get rights because they loved us. We got them because we fought like hell while they smiled for the cameras. They didn't integrate us. They invaded us. And we're still rebuilding what they couldn't steal.
Welcome back. Some people think removing black Americans would fix America. But spiritually, biblically, historically, black Americans are the only reason America hasn't already collapsed. Yeah. You are the correction. You are the conscience. You are the balance. You are the divine check on injustice. You are not leaving this nation. You are not being erased. You are not disappearing because your presence is part of the judgment and the mercy. America will never be an all-white nation, not because of politics, but because of prophecy. I will stop here, right? I want to hear your thoughts in the comments. Did I just speak your mind? Do you think it's true? If you know anything about it, right, let me see some Bible quotations in the comment section, right? Tell me thank you for this content. If you like this content, tell me bring more of this, we'll love it, and I will really go harder on the topic, right? Do not forget, it's me, your sister, your friend Blessing on Global Gist with BJ. I'll see you next time. Bye guys.